Everyone, this is Amara with my channel Eyes Wide Shut, where I discuss current affairs and political affairs and things of that nature. Now, I also have another side channel which is called Spiritual Echelons, where I talk about things such as spirituality, religion, yoga, acupuncture, the metaphysical, UFOs and all of those kinds of things. If you're more interested in those sorts of things, go over to that channel, please. Now, you have to bear with me. The light in this room isn't particularly that great for some reason. And even though I've got a extra bit of lighting, the lighting still isn't that great. So that's something I need to sort out. Now listen, before I go into this video, I've got to say this. I have never voted since the age of 18. Right, the last time I ever voted was at the age of 18. And I voted for the Conservative Party under Margaret Thatcher. I thought governments were there to be able to try and change things for us, change things for the people. But now I'm finding more and more now that it's better to form community groups and get together with like-minded people, people who think like yourself, rather than voting for these parties who come into office every 5 years and then they're gone, or they remain in office but things don't change very much. It takes so long for things to change. We've got a problem right now with hospital beds. People waiting for surgery and there's not enough hospital beds. We've got a problem with schooling. We've also got a problem with energy, with the energy crisis. It seems that fuel is going up every year. We got a problem with food crisis, and the food going up every year, and it's starting to become food crisis. So we got all of these various different things. Now, look at this as well. Dustbins have been emptied in the UK, at least in England, once every fortnight. Now they're talking about having bins emptied once every month. Could you imagine how much vermin that's going to attract? Did you vote for that? Did you vote for that? Did you vote for these community charges? We're being charged so much money to keep our lights on, to maintain our roads and all the rest of it, to empty dustbins. And who has the control to turn around and say, guess what? You can only have your dustbins emptied once a month. Did you vote for that? I said get together with community groups, get together with like-minded people and try and change things that way. Mahatma Gandhi once said, you've got to be the change that you want to see in the world. You have got to be that change. Okay? You need to get together with like-minded people. When they can see you're changing things, then it'll have a cascading effect. Now, I want to read an article by a woman called Silky Carlo. Okay? This is in Smacks. This is only in Smacks. Now, Silky Carlo, she's been investigating AI. Right? And she's keeping an eye. She's been like a watchdog on AI, for want of a better word. Right? But this is what she has to say about AI. Now, there's a bill in the UK, which I think is the 10th of the 12th, 2024. This bill come out. Again, how many people from the general public know about this bill? How many people have voted on this bill? How many people have even been asked about their opinions on this bill? Right? This is to do with AI and technology, and it's going to change a lot of things. Trust. Right, Silky Carlo, the watchdog, as I say, for want of a better word. A young woman waited for a liver transplant, a life-saving operation, and she couldn't understand why she wasn't higher up on the list. She wasn't informed by the NHS That's the National Health Service. She had to do her own research and found out there was something called the liver transplant benefit score. The liver transplant benefit score. Based on lots of pieces of data and is an automated score. Automated score. That means like that. Basically, this is computers, AI that's doing this, right? That's doing the assessment, filtering out who should and who shouldn't get access to livers, who should be at the top of the list and who should be at the bottom. This has been decided by a computer, yeah, by AI. Let me read on. And the system sorting when they should be eligible for a life-saving operation. She was able to find out what data was going in and why she was ranked low and found there were problems in there. There were problems in there. Things like this are life and death issues. Why are these decisions being made by AI and not doctors or a surgeon? That was a question that was being asked. Now, Keir Starmer and the UK government on the 10th of the 12th, 2024, discussed a new AI bill. How much people from the general public know about this bill? Was it in mainstream news that this bill was being looked at? How much people, I got to ask, in the UK who vote, because I don't vote personally, how many people who vote knew about this AI bill? It's like it's been kept quiet. There's something clandestine. Something clandestine that's going on here. Why is the general public not being informed? Keir Starmer, there's nothing to be scared about AI. This is what he said. There's nothing to be scared about AI. Let me read on. It's thought that AI could be a solution to all these issues, e.g. health, security, banking, etc. The bill could can't get the words out. The bill could boost the UK economy by £10 billion over the next decade. But at what cost? But at what cost? It could boost the UK economy by £10 billion over the next decade. That's £1 billion per year over the next 10 years. AI could be used for supporting open banking, expand smart data schemes, foster tech innovation and competition, improve public service. Because the bill is expected to free up 1.5 million hours of police time annually. Moreover, they reckon that they're going to save over 1,040 hours on the NHS hours per year. Let me read that bit again. Moreover, they reckon they are going to save 140,000 NHS staff hours every year. How are they going to do this, though? How are they going to do this? By sending text messages to patients about appointments. You already see that's going on already now. And that's just causing a lot of confusion. You're getting text messages sent out to patients about when their appointments are due. Okay? As I said, there's been a lot of problems with that. Doctors who have phone appointments, yeah, this is video phone call appointments. How can you be a doctor and examine a person over a video call, because somebody could have a life-threatening illness and it could be internal. So you're a doctor and you phone up a patient and you have a video call. Okay? How can you diagnose what's wrong with the patient? Now, simple things like a headache or a cold, I could understand. You could probably solve those issues. But for an internal issue that's going on with the patient, how can you sit there on a mobile phone and say, you know what's wrong with the patient? There's no physical examination. You see, we're becoming a contactless society every day. Every day, we're becoming more and more of a less contacting world, less contacting society. Let me read on. This new AI could be encroaching on individuals' lives. Okay? You look at the employment industry. You can see where it's starting to go now, yeah? You're going to have bosses soon who are going to have their avatars, not themselves, but an avatar that looks like them. And then you'll have employees and they'll have their avatar that looks like them. And then your boss will be calling you into a virtual reality room. Not your physical self. They'll be calling you into a virtual reality room and having a conversation with you and telling you that they're not happy with your attendance, that over the last 6 months or 12 months, you've been off work about 4 times or 6 times. It's not acceptable. So they get rid of you. Trust, this sort of thing, if it's not going on already, it will start to happen. All right? An emotionless, contactless world run by AI, run by avatars and bots. Is this the kind of world that you want? Let me read on. The bill is considering bringing in digital ID for everybody going into clubs and pubs. Digital ID. Now, what this woman, Silky Carlo, was saying is that, fair enough, if some people want to accept that, then have that. If they want to have digital ID, then have that. But at the same time, it should be flexible. Those people who don't want to have digital ID, if that's their choice, right, they shouldn't have to have digital ID. They shouldn't have to have digital ID. We live in a democratic world. We live in a democratic society. And so therefore, we should have choice. Or else if we don't have choice, then we're moving down the road towards a totalitarian society, a communist type regime. Is that the world that you want for you and for your children? If not, you better start pushing back. That doesn't mean I want you to go on the streets and riot. That doesn't mean I want you to go on the streets and protest. There's other ways and means of going about things. Let me read on. There are 5 million people in the UK who don't have access to the internet. Okay? These are people like the elderly. They don't have access to the internet. So the law needs to be flexible. Okay? Note well this. The police are using AI cameras on deciding who to stop and question, when it comes to road traffic. I'll read that again. The police are using AI cameras on deciding who to stop and question when it comes to road traffic. Number 2, some forces in custody suites are using AI to decide who to prosecute and who to release. My God. You hear that? Some forces in custody suites are using AI to decide who to prosecute and who to release. We need to be sensitive to machines making decisions about our daily lives, says Silky Carlo. And I totally agree. I totally agree. You see, those people who control the instruments, those people who have the instruments of power can use it to their own advantages. You can have a gun, and you can use a gun for either good, or you can use a gun for either bad. A gun is a tool. AI is also a tool. The people who create these devices create them, and they have certain filters. They have certain assessors within this system, right? And they use algorithms to determine who's going to get what from who's not going to get anything. And we're starting to move into a society where our privacy is being lost. Our privacy is gradually being lost every single day. You know, in China, there was a bloke, he was jaywalking. Instead of crossing the zebra crossing on the point where he's supposed to, he decided to jaywalk. And by the time he got from one side of the road over to the other side, guess what had happened? They're taking money out of his account. The government are taking money out of his account. By the time he got to the other side of the road, is this kind of world that we want to be living in? We got to be very mindful of AI, and we got to be very mindful of this new bill that the UK government is trying to bring in. This new bill, they reckon over the next 10 years they're going to, save £10 billion? How? What are they going to be doing? We have to use our own due diligence, and we need to keep an eye on what they're doing. That is, keep an eye on what the government is doing. This is Eldad Amara with another video, over and out. Oh, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And sorry about the lighting. I've had a problem with my electrics, but I shall make an improvement for the next video. Thank you.